Shabbat Tov, Shem Hashem Naseh v'Natzliach. B'ezrat Hashem, today we'll carry on with the Siddur. So if we open the Siddur on page 89, Abaye, okay? So before Abaye, we finished the Ketoret. The Ketoret is when we said the Biurim come into the Olamot. So today is going to be a challenging shiur, but if you have done it before, but it's really important to begin to get used to these ideas, okay? And terminologies like a hechal. What's a hechal? Hechal basically is the shem of the kelim of the genus sfirot which are in an olam. So you have the orot and the kelim, and the orot are called the kelim. Sorry, the orot are called the orot are the nanachis that we see, and the kelim are going to be the names of the sfirot. Right. So Rabotai, we're looking at the Siddur on page 89, and what we'll see, Bezrat Hashem, is Abaye. Okay, so until this point in the Tefillah, we've explained in previous weeks that Biurim come into the Olamot. So we mentioned different de'ot. The de'ot we're going to follow is that the Birur that belongs in every Hechal all comes into the Hechal that it belongs in. So we have to remember one very important point, that there's three different types of Birurim. There's the Birurim which have to end up upstairs in Atzilut. And that won't be on their first day, that will be in subsequent days. So if they come down and go up again, and then they're going to end up upstairs. So we call them, at least on the second day, they're called Biyah de Atzilut. Because they went to number 2, 3, and 4, which is that Bria Yetzir Asiyah in Olam Atzilut on the top. Yeah? So they're called Bria de Atzilut. So those ones are on the second day. And then there's the new ones that come in. The new ones that come in, some of them, tomorrow will be Biyah de Atzilut. You understand? So today, they're in the wrong place. They're in an initial place. They're on the route. They're starting off the journey. But they're not where they belong. So we're calling them 26, 27, 28, whatever's down below at the bottom. But really, that's because that's where they are, the location where they are. As apart from that, there's the actual ones that belong in 26, 27, 28, which are called, for example, when you're in the Korbanot, it's called Asiya Tachtonim. So they belong down below. Now, those guys which are down below and belong down below, that are never going to go up like straight away through the Olamot to the Tefillot, they also go up slightly. They go up, it's called mitlat, letlat. They go from 3 to the 3, from the Pnimiut to the Chitzoniut above it, and then across to the Pnimiut, the Chitzoniut, and they go like that. They go up, they stagger along. Those guys, they're called Biyah Tachtonim. Okay? Now, let's have a look at what this means. So we go to Abaye, I just want to show that because that's the next section, and we start talking about the Maracha and we're already preparing ourselves to go into the Korbanot of the Shlamim. So if you get to the end of Abaye, at the bottom of that page, you see there's a chart. Yeah, and what we've done in this chart, let's explain what we've got over here. We've got over here what's going to happen in bekoach. So before we even talk about the Mishnah of Zvachim, which is going to have the Sheva Hechalot, before that already, Biyah Tachtonim is already going up, which is why we're just explaining, right? So if you see the pattern how it works in this chart, I'm actually going to make this screen a bit smaller so we can get the whole thing in one screen. If you bear with me. So now, if we're looking at this chart, it says Chitzoniut Chabad Eno ole lepnimiut mimela Eno ole lepnimiut mimela Kamo shebeyetzira. Okay, leave that for a second, right? But the point is that the Biblisky explains. I'll explain that there's two movements that go together usually. Right, so let's look at the bottom. Let's look, for example, at the blue ones. Can you see what's going on over there? So 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, if you can see what I'm talking about. This is Malchut, 10, 11, 12. I've numbered them like that, yeah? And let's start from the beginning. I will tell you. From the beginning. This box, you can see on the top of the page, the Chitzoniyut, yeah? So that's 26, 27, 28, which is called Biyah of Asiyah. And then 31, 30, 31, 32, which is in the Chitzoniyut. It's missing one of them, which is the one which is called Atzilut of Asiyah, of each, of the Pnimiut and of the Chitzoniyut. If you go back and look at the Tabla now, which is earlier in the Siddur, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But the point is, all of this is taking place in Asiyah, because where are we in Korbanot? We're in Asiyah. That's where we are right now. Now, within 26, 27, 28, we have now created if you like, 10 sfirot. Okay? And the blue section at the bottom, if you're looking at the leftmost column, says asiya. So that whole blue section going across is all asiya. Yeah? This is asiya. And then above that, you're going to have Yetzirah, Bria, and Atzilut. Yeah? So we are still now in asiya. What's happening over here is everything is going to go up a level. So when we start Anna bekoach, you see the word Anna is on the far right. So we're in the Gar, you got Gar, Chagat, Nai, and Malchut. Okay? Now what we're going is we're taking number one. That means the Chochma. Number one is the Chochma. You see the little Chet over there? That's the Chochma. And that Chochma is going to go up to, it's the Malchut of Yetzirah, but we haven't learned it now, but you have to accept this for now. The Malchut of Yetzirah is an Asiya. You see the yellow box on the top? Yeah. Right? That is telling us that that whole section is called the Malchut of Yetzirah Adain Be Rosh Asiya. Right? The way HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the system, the Malchut of the Olam above is inside the Gar of the one below. And instead of going up, we say it's like an elevator. We're going to do the Kaddish at the end of this section. Things are going to go up to the next world, right? But they don't really go up. What happens is, you know, when I was a kid, I used to go to school and there was buses and they had these numbers on them, 253. We used to go from Stamford Hill to Camden Road, 253, right? Sometimes they would take the 253 and put a different number on and become a different bus, right? So when we're doing the first section of Shachrit, we're in Asiya. When you get to Hodu, Hashem Kribishmo, you take off the name, put Yetzirah, it's now become Yetzirah. The Malchut becomes the Malchut of Yetzirah. You understand? It doesn't really go up. It just changes its level, its status. It's a by-stage status. It's got two names. When it's in the lower section of the Tefillah, so it's an Asiya. Then it goes into Yetzirah. You understand? So that whole changing over is a section between Hodu and Baruch Shama. So at the moment it's still down below, right? So we're sending the Chochmah over there of Asiya is going to go up to the right-hand side of the Plimiyut of the Malchut of Yetzirah, which is in Asiya. You understand? I'll say it again. Right? The Chochmah, number one is Ana Bekoach Gilad Yeminach Tatil Serura. So in a bit we're going to go into Ana Bekoach, page 89, yeah, at the bottom. We're gonna when we do Ana Bekoach, we know that Ana Bekoach is a secret. It's got 7 psukim. Each one's got 6 words. 7 times 6 is 42. It's the secret of the 42 letter name of Hashem. The 40 letter, which is Shem Eloka, right? Aleph Lamed Vav K. This name and the different various types of Membet, but the name Membet has one function always. Whenever you see Shem Membet, so Rashi and Kiddushin talks about it, right? Well, what is it? What's the function of Shem Membet? To take things up, to go up. So like an elevator. Even when we go to bed at night, Karash Malvita, there's a whole section of Ana Bekoach, and then Shem Eloka. Aleph, all different ways to do this yichud of Aleph, the Lam. You have to take the Aleph and break it down into other letters, a Vav and a Chaf and a this, until you get all the different gematries, 42, and the Shema goes up. So here, something is going up. And the Shema always goes up with the sections, but what is going up over here? So if you look generically, you see number one is Ana, that bit goes up. Then Bekoach, and the Bekoach goes up. Chabel is number 2. Nagibor, number 3. Barchem on the left side, yeah, you can see the Chesed, and then the Gura is Chasin, and then Yachid, yeah, right? Where did they go up? They go up to the letters of Sha'otenu Kabelu Shmatzakatenu Yodea Ta'lumot during the week. You see? So that's what we're trying to do over here. In the section of Ana Bekoach, we're sending up Birurim to a higher place. And the higher place, in general, is called mitlat, letlat. Why is it mitlat, letlat? Because the right side 3 go to the upper level on the left side. Here, the rule slightly breaks the general trend, which is normally it will go to the left side on the same level, by the one on the level on the left side going up to the way first on the right side above. But whatever the system is, I'm not going to confuse you. The point is that it's going from 3 to 3. It shifts 3 this way and then up, this way and then up, this way and then up. There's an exception to the rule over here because we're starting on the bekoach on the right side and not on the left side. And there's reasons for everything, but we're just going to go by the book now, what it says. Okay, without any explanations. But what we're doing in this section is we're going to end up with everything in the sort of cyan, light blue, sky blue color having gone up, and everything in the orange section still where it was before. Can you get that? That's what we need to explain. And then when we get to Ezer mekoman, we'll do the orange section. So the combination of ana bekoach and Ezer mekoman makes everything in aliya go up a level. Right? And the last section, which is the bottom level, Shlamim Kadashim number 13, is going to be left empty. So that's why there's a little arrow at the bottom that you see comes in from outside. Something has to come in from outside. That bit that comes in from outside is part of this ma'arechet, which we're calling bi'at tachtonim. That these birurim that came in or are now going up, are not the ones that have to end up in bi'at atzilut. These ones only go from one to the next, and they always stay on this side of the olamot, meaning 26, 27, 28, or 30, 31, 32, rather than 25. 25, which is not in the diagram, is atzilut de asiya. That session will go up in the Kadishim, whatever's over there, those birurim. But the point is that these ones are never going to get to number 1. They're only going to stay in these 3 columns, the outer columns, right? And these outer columns, it says in Shara Shemot, have got names which are not Atzilut. Whereas the ones in the inner column, which is not in this diagram, the leftmost column, the Atzilut of Asiya, and then the Atzilut of Yetzirah and Bria and Atzilut itself, will be number 1, and then number 9, and then number 17, right? And then number 25. Those numbers, right? These guys will never reach that column. And those ones have the names of the olamot, which are of Atzilut. In Echad of Shema.
Which ones are staying still? Only to stay still.
In ana bekoach.
Yeah.
In ana bekoach, we've got 6 different statements because Shavatenu Kabel is not one of the statements that makes things go up. On the contrary, it's going to that what that label is, right? Shavatenu Kabel is the yellow boxes, which is the malchut. So what have we learned now? We've learned that in these olamot, low olamot, the malchut of the olam of above it is in the olam below it. When the olamot fell down, the malchut fell with them. And that malchut, we have to take these biurim to them, right? And then the malchut will change its name, and it be now called miraculously called the malchut of Yetzirah, and it will be in Olam Yetzirah. And that changeover takes over between Hodula Hashem Kirushmo and Baruch Shema. So at the moment, it hasn't yet happened. So the malchut of Yetzirah, the yellow box, is still in Asiya. Right? So when we say number 1, the way it's done, which is a whole complicated formula of what you have to do, but when you've done it correctly, then the chokhmah, which is number 1, of the chitzoniyut of Asiya, can you see that? So Chabad is called the gar, right? So the chokhmah bin adat, we only want the chokhmah on the right kav. Number 1 is going to go up to where? Going to go up to the right side of the malchut of the pnimiyut of Yetzirah, which is still in Asiya, which is the letter Shin of Shawatenu Kabel. You understand? So the ana bekoach sentence, ana bekoach, and then you have to imagine a bag gutats, right? That whole sentence is going to the Shin, right? That's what we're doing in ana bekoach. And by the time we will finish ana bekoach, everything on the right side of the chitzoniyut of the gar, 1, 2, and 3, would have gone up to the left side, the pnimiyut of Shawatenu Kabel of the Olamot, and everything on the left side of the Chagat, which is 4, 5, and 6, Barachem, Chasin, and Yachid Ge'eh, will go up to the right side of the Malchut in the Chitzoniyut. You understand? It's clear? See what we're saying? So looking at the blue again, 1, 2, and 3 is going to go up to the Malchut, which is in the Pnimiyut side of the Olamot, and 4, 5, and 6 is going to go up to the yellow boxes, which is on the right side, which is a chitzoniut of malchut of Yetzirah, which is still in Olam Asiyah. Okay? And now we'll carry on as a mekoman with the 6 Mishnayot, the first 6 of the 7 Mishnayot. And it's the same idea, right? What happens is you start with the red ones at the bottom. They go to the left side, which is where the blue 8, 9, Ezer mekoman should actually start with that. I didn't say it right. Ezer mekoman goes up and it schleps in across the orange ones to the left. So Ezer mekoman, the first Mishnah is number 7. Can you see number 7? Right? So that is, what is that? Yeah, but which sphere is that? Can you see? Netzach. The Netzach Chod and Yisod. Number 7 is the Netzach of the Pnimiut Olamot of Asiya. Asiya the Pnimiut. So you say as a mekoman, you send that up to, because it's on the right side, it goes to the right side, was actually where the chesed used to be. It goes to the chesed. Okay? Because the chesed got schlepped over to the chitzoniut. So he goes to the pnimiut. So the chesed of the chitzoniut was empty after Ana Bekoach. And so now Ezer mekoman takes it over to there. It's the top orange box on the right. It says a chet for chesed. Yeah? And then you say parim and israfim, and you go to the left kav, which is going to be the hod of the pnimiut going to the gura of the chitzoniut of Asiyah. You see what's going on? Now, when you do any one of these, when the one goes up, it schleps in from the right side also. That's the other red line that comes in. It's an automatic thing. One goes up and he schleps the one across from the other side. So now what's going to happen by the time you finish the first 3 Mishnayot, the nai of the chitzoniut is going to be empty. Right? So then when you say ha'olah, zimchei, and hatodah, they will go up to the orange ones, which of nai of the chitzoniut, and they'll schlep in from the malchut at the bottom to the left side. You see what you understand? So now what's going to be when you get to Shlamim Kadashim, the whole entire Malchut is going to be empty. I've got confused looking faces. Yeah. On the right, number 13. Yeah, it's going to be empty. Right? Now, if it's going to be empty, when you finish the section of the korbanot, and we want to go up to Olam Yetzirah, you can't go up because it has to be complete. So it says a shiur korbanot, right? So we need something to fill it up. So when we said that in the korbanot, we brought in all the birurim. Do you remember we said that? We bring all the birurim. When do we bring which word? At ketoret, right? 11 times adanut. 11 samanei ketoret. We said that 11 samanei ketoret actually has 3 types of birurim. These birurim that we're talking about here, as well as the ones of biadat silut, which are going to go up. They're just traveling through these areas and they're going to go up, and that's not what this is about. This is letlat. This is about biat tachtonim. This is asiya tachtona in the heading, right? So these ones that go mitlat letlat, right? They're biat tachtonim. That's asiya tachtona that we're talking about. That's one family. There's another family that when you go into each hechal, we have to work how those ones go up, and they go up from olam to olam until they get to atzilut, and they come back down, and tomorrow they go back up again, right? They belong all the way up on top of number 1. These ones are not going all the way up. They're going only on their level, up. Slowly. It takes a long time for them to go up. And they keep on going up to Rumah Ma'alot forever and ever and ever. They never stop going up till Mashiach comes. But they're never going to go all the way into number 1, into Atzilut. Yeah? It's getting clearer? Now the problem is we've got an empty space at the bottom on the right. So when we said Ketoret, the word Ketoret, we had to bring in a 3rd type of biru, which is called Sherita Kedusha. It's called in the Svarim Sherita Kedusha. So Shlamim Kadashim, we have to bring in 1 extra bit that was waiting around to be Mashlim. You know, and you have the Mashlim and you have the Aliyot. The Mashlim, right? It's to finish off, and then he says the Kaddish. So that you need Mashlim to make the Kaddish. Just thought that's good analogy, right? Without the mashlim, the shlamim kadashim, there's no hashlama. It's not perfect. It's empty. That's why the Mishnah says shlamim kadashim, shlamim kaddish. There you go. Shamim Kadashim. Zak bepume mishamaya. Okay, I never heard it before, but it makes perfect sense, right? Shlamim Kadashim. You mashlim it and they say Kaddish, right? It goes up. So it's important to understand what the Rav is talking about when he says that there's 3 different bechinot. There's a special bechina called the Sherita Kedusha. So let's quickly go to Shlamim Kadashim so you see what I'm talking about. So at least this point you will be tofes. And today we'll work on Ana Bechoach, which is not easy. I want to work on the Hechalot themselves, which the main avodah is going to be what you do in each Hechal for the ones which are called Biyad Atzila. But right now we'll start with the easy part, the letlat, right? So if we go to Shlamim Kadashim, which is on page, anyone got it? Yep. 107, exactly, just before this one. So on the top of every page in the Sidur Rashash, you've got the Kavanah of Biyat Tachtonim, and it's one box on the top of the page. Before you talk about what you do in the Mishnah. Some Sidurim have the words, for example, this is the last one, right? So Shlamim Kadashim. We also have Bechor, but that's got no Kavanah. But Shlamim Kadashim is the last one. So it says there's a Kachbad, right? This Kachbad that we're talking about is nothing to do with what we're learning now. That Kachbad is talking about the Hechalot, which is to do with Pia the Atzilut, not these ones that we're talking about. So what you're supposed to say? You're supposed to say Shlamim Kadashim and do the Kavanah. I didn't put the words before the Kavanah because this is how it is in Sidur and Nidfas. Lechora, you should say Shlamim Kadashim before doing the Kavanah because the Kavanah goes on those words, right? So when you say Shlamim Kadashim, actually, it starts on the top of the page, right? So what's the top of the page? It's a different Kavanah. You see that same box that we talked about earlier. You see the yellow piece on the top of the top left? Shlamim, and there's an arrow coming in to be mashlim, right? And what does it say? La'alot hakdusha shenivrar ve'ala b'ketoret. It's telling you this is what came in during the ketoret. So when you said the words ketoret, right? The ketoret is gematria with a vav. It's gematria 11 times Adanut. In that 11 times Adanut, there's all sorts of things going on in those birurim that are coming in for the first time. And one of them is this last chelek, which was waiting from then until now to be mashlim. You understand? It's a whole kedusha that came in. It's called part of the Rafak birurim that remains waiting to the word Shlamim Kadashim just to be mashlim the olam asiyah. And that's going to be its place from now on, right? So tomorrow, when you come to the Mishnah of Eza Mekoman and you get to the ones which, well, the last 3, right? Parim and Safim and all that, right? So then this one that came in now today in Shlamim Kadashim will remain there till tomorrow, and then it will go to the next stage. Right? Lichora. I'm just saying that. Through as it goes up, there's machloke about it might go up a couple of times before that already. So something else comes in. But we need a chelek to be mashlim that, and that's what this Mishnah is about. So it's a technical little point, but it's important to understand it. So now we go back to Ana Bekoach, right? And in Ana Bekoach, we've got that chart that we were looking at before we started, page 89. Right? So we're looking at that same chart again, and when we look at the last bit of the chart at the bottom, number 13, we can see the shlamim where the last bit comes in. Yeah? So in other words, Ana Bekoach and Eza Mekoman are the same part of the same system when we're talking about Biyat Tachtonim. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same. Eza Mekoman is a continuation of Ana Bekoach. Yet the avodah to take up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, these blue ones over here, is Ana Bekoach, but the avodah to take up the lower ones, the orange boxes, is Eza Mekoman. It's not the same kavanah. In fact, Eza Mekoman is very easy. You just mechaven to do it, and it just happens. And the Bekoach is complicated. You have to imagine malachim, and they've got wings. They've got 6 wings, and 2 take them up, and 2 stop them from going up 2 and the other 2 then take them. They go up. And these wings, we have them as well. If you go, it says in Sha'ar Gilgulim, a person's neshama is from Olam HaAtzilut. When they have dreams, they'll be flying around in their dreams. The Ben Ish Chai brings it in Torah Lishma. Right? So if you have dreams and you fly around in your dreams, you've got a high neshama from Olam HaAtzilut. Because really, there's hairs. As Zohar explains, you can tell a person's personality from the hairs on their back. Right? If you ever notice someone staring at someone's back during the mikvah and think he's a bit weird, he's probably learning Zohar He's trying to work out, is this person a Ka'asan? Is he a good shidduch for my daughter? Not a good shidduch for my daughter? Right? You never know what's going on. Okay, so some people have 3 sets of hairs on the right and 2, and there's no explanation, and there's whole countries of the Zohar explaining this, right? The sort of the hairs on the back. Now, those hairs on the back were actually wings of the Malachim. If you extend them, they'll become wings, right? We don't have wings, we have arms, okay? But the Malachim have wings as well, yeah. So there's the good Malachim which have 6 wings, the higher ones, which is what Eliyahu Navi saw, right? He said, "V'shtayim, they bechaser panim, and the other 2 push them up off Yofef." So that's what under Bekoach. Also, Kabbalat Shabbat is exactly the same kavanah, but there they've done the order. They've done the 2 in the middle underneath it. They just swap the order around, but the order how it happens is the same. So let's go to under Bekoach now. Let's go to the next page. You can see in the next page, there's another thing that we have to know, that before you can do this kavanah, you have to bring something from above. And the Shem, like Abag, Yutat, I'm just saying it for learning purposes. We usually try not to say Shemot, but I'm saying it because, so we understand what we're talking about. That Shem itself is coming from Olam HaYetzirah. And depending which day it is, depends which part of Olam HaYetzirah it comes from. It's Monday, Tuesday, Yishon, Sheni. Depends what day it is. But when that koach comes down, before you even say Ana Bekoach, or maybe you have to say Ana Bekoach, you say the word Ana, and then you do that kavanah, then that koach comes down to give the koach to go up. Okay? So this chart on page 90 is showing us how it works. So if you take the top right-hand side, for example, right? Let's got something in my way. So it says Yom Aleph, Mivak de Chesed. Right? So when you say Ana Bekoach on the first day, everything is coming from the Chesed. Kabelunat, for everything coming from that top right box. The difference is on Shabbat, it won't be from these places, it'll be from the Malchut. And the Malchut is still in Olam Asiyah. So Shabbat works in a completely different system to the rest of the week. Now, that sends the koach down below, and then if you look at the bottom of the page, it's just a reference to what we said in the previous page of how they all go up. Those 2 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, go up another bekoach. I've left that as a mekoman in this chart. Yeah. So what happens? There are 4 ma'asim that you have to know in this avodah. Number 1, it says bechol, right? Hamshacha mivak tevak. What does it mean, vak devak? It means from the chesed till the hod of that day. So there's a vak which corresponds to the day. So the first day, Yom Rishon, will be chesed, the general haklali. And Ana Bekoach will be the chesed of the chesed. Yeah. Kabelunat will be the gura of that chesed of day 1. Yeah. So you have to know where it's coming from on that day. And that's the first avodah. Kol Yom Yesh Vak. Miketze echad de Yetzirah, from one part of Yetzirah. That koach, you send it down. Where do you send it to? The place where you're working with. So Ana Bekoach is going to be the bottom right, which is going to be the chokhmah of the chitzoniyut of Asiyah. So you send the koach down to there. And if you look at number 2, B'yom Shabbat we don't need to do, so we can go to number 3. You go down to the place La Ha'alotam Le Malchut Yetzirah. What we're sending up in these 2 sections of Ana Bekoach is the 2 different sides of the Malchut. The Malchut, you divide it into 6 parts, 3 in the Pnimiyut on the left, 3 in the Chitzoniyut on the right, and these 6 statements of Ana Bekoach will send up those sections of Asiyah to the Malchut. And when you get to Odul Hashem Kishma, miraculously this is all going to turn into Olam HaYetzirah, because you've already done Kaddish, right? So let's go to the first one now and see if we can explain it inside. So we've got number 1, Hamshacha. Now if you look to the left, we've highlighted Ana Bekoach as the Chesed. Now this Chesed that we're talking about, depending what day it is, the 6 statements that you have on the top left, it says Mivak, are all part of one of the days. You understand? So if it's the first day, it's the general chesed on the right. If it's Yom Sheni, like now when Yom Sheni, we've gone into Yom Sheni. So tomorrow we say Ana Bekoach, it will be that all 6 parts of the Gvura, which is on the left, on the top left. Right? So you have to take the koach from that place, and bring it down. How does it come down? This kavanah abagutat, the whole Shem itself brings it down. So number one, hamshacha. From where? Always when we do a kavanah, we have to know who's the meshaleach, where it's coming from. What is the hamshacha? What is the Shem? And who is the mekabel? Right? So who's sending it? We just said vak the chesed because it's the first day. Tonight we're going to go on the second day. Tomorrow morning it will be the vak of the gvura. Now the first statement on bekoach is the chesed of the gvura. Tomorrow we'll call chesed the gvura. So see, we say chesed of that day. So Monday, I mean, is going to be gvura. So be chesed of the gvura. Yeah, going to the chart. Right, the yetzirah, and you send it to who? To the chesed and the netzach. That's called the chitzoniyut. Now you have to understand the code over here. This chesed netzach doesn't mean the chesed netzach sfira that we think it means. It means the chitzoniyut ha'olamot. It's true it's chesed netzach, but we can't explain that today, right? So when it says here chesed netzach, you'll never know in a million years if you open it, what it's talking about. Unless we knew enough hakdamot to understand what it really means, right? Because we know that under bekoach, if you go back to the previous page, you see it works that it is going to the chitzoniyot side, right? Look where the bekoach starts from the chitzoniyot side, right? That's called chesed netzach, as opposed to the chokhmah, which is going to be the pnimiyut, because the gar is the pnimiyut and chaganah is the chitzoniyut, gar and vak. So this is a code that needs to be broken, and so that people who shouldn't learn will never know, right? There's mefarshim on this, right? And then it says the chokhmah de asiya. What does it mean? The chitzoniyut of the chokhmah de asiya. That's number one in the previous diagram that we mentioned, right? That's what we're sending it to. So what are we sending? Abagutats. Where is it coming from? The chesed of whatever day of the sphere of that day. Yeah, depending what day of the week, it will be a different sphere, right? And the first statement is from the chesed of that day. Where is it going? It's going to the chokhmah, right? So now the koach to go up has been received by the chokhmah, number one. Yeah? You with me? Not an easy shiur because you've never done it before. If you do it every day, you'll see that it's just like starting your engine in the car, right? It's like you have to go over and over and over and over and over, right? And we already explained the generally how this works. When we start after you do the shemot, it gets very nitty gritty, right? But bekitsur, if I understand what I'm doing, at least I can do this, right? I send the name on the bekoach to the right destination, which is the chokhmah of the chitzoniyut, the masiyah, so that it will go up. And where is it going to go up? It's going to go up to the pnimiyut, the kav yamin of the pnimiyut of the malchut of yetzirah, which is still in asiyah, in the gar de asiyah, to be more specific. Yeah. So how do I do this? How do I now send it up? So I know I've sent the koach down to the chokhmah, and now I want the chokhmah to go up, right? How is that chokhmah going to go up? So it requires 3 lots of wings making their movements, right? So we said in number 2, the yellow number 2, lechasot panav. Lechasot panav. So there's 2 wings which cover the face of the malach, right? So the olamot, it's like a malach. It covers the face, right? Number 2 in the middle. Look in the middle of the chart. No, in the actual kavanah. Next page. Yeah, number 2. The chasot panav. Now, it says in the Shah Kavanot, in the Nigel Arizal, when these when the wings go like that, it's so powerful that it sends that flying up, right? Now, when it starts flying up, if it's going to go up, it's not going to take everything up because you haven't finished the job yet. So you have to stop it from going up. So you have the other 2 wings to push it down. I don't know if you understand how thrust works with planes. You've got up thrust and down thrust, right? So first you have to go up, but it mustn't be too high. So you have to do the next to those wings push down to bring it back down, to stop it going up too high. So that's the next one. Lechasot raglav, to stop it going up too high. So it has to be done in 3 stages. Why? And the shemot that you're looking on the Anna and the bekoach, and all gematrias, they add up to tzadik bet or chok. It doesn't matter right now, but the point is these are the shemot that make these things happen. The first two goes flying up. Second two pushes it back down. That's why I put the line, the red line. So the arrow's going up and then you stop to stop it. Right? And then down, and then you don't want it to go too down. Right? And then the last two, yofef. Right? You see sometimes how the bird starts off. It goes, right? But actually, it's not just go. Right? There's feathers doing jobs that we don't understand. Like on the planes, you see I forgot what they're called now, the rudders on the plane. They go up and down. You've got to get them the right angle, up, down, out the thing, then it flies up, right? There's a system, a mechanism going on over there. So this is what's going on over here. The last one, laha'alot. So that's a sod ofef. That's what it says in the Sefer Hechalot and in other many places in Bahir, all different story, right? Now it's going to explain it to you, right? At the bottom, it says le'ofef bechachan de chesed. That means what's chachan de chesed? Chachan de chesed means the right side. You got in chesed, right? You got chesed netzach. Above that, you got chokhmah chachan bagadati. Remember, we went it way back. Chachan bagadati. So the chachan is the right side. The Rashi calls it chachan de chesed. Now, if it just means chesed, or it actually means the chachan of the chesed, is a big argument in the Achronim. The Blisky says that's the code, right? But it also brings down other opinions that no, there's a whole way of understanding what actually this means. It's a certain part of the chesed and not all of the chesed. But that's not for us. We don't need to know the nitty gritty. But what we need to do is decipher the code. When it says chachan de chesed, it means the chesed of the right kav, as opposed to the chokhmah or the netzach. The chesed of the right kav. So where is this going? It's going to the right kav. Le'ofef, that you have to take the chesed of the right kav. This is the thing that's going to go up that we're talking about. Le'ofef, to make go up the chesed of the chitzoniut, which is called chesed v'netzach. So if you read chachan the chesed v'netzach, you wouldn't know what that meant. The chokhmah sounds like you have to break the code down. Chachan the chesed means kav yamin, right? Which kav yamin? Of the chesed v'netzach of the chitzoniut. So it's the chesed of the chitzoniut. De chokhmah. Chokhmah means of the gar. Okay, I know it's complicated. I'm not going to say it's easy, right? But the bottom line is, you can see from the picture what it means. It means the chokhmah of the chitzoniut. Bekitzu, it means the chokhmah of the chitzoniut, right? Can you see that where the red arrow is? It's going to go up. Right, that is in number 31, 32, 30, 31, 32. On the right side, it's going up to where the shin is. Ana bekoach, abagutat, right? This whole statement that we say takes up this chokhmah, which is on the right side, to the right side of the pnimiyut of the malchut. Can you see that? That's all you have to know. And this is the la'alot kol klalut chachan, which means Yemin, Lechesed v'netzach of the Chitzoniut, Lehalbish Chachan, which is the Yemin of the Chabad, De Malchut the Yetzirah, Shehi Ot Shin. That's the Ot Shin. And in the Kavanah there's the big Shin. And I've written over there, Leshalev, you have to connect the Abag Yutat with the Shin. In other words, you have to make a name of 7 letters. Abag Yutat Shin. And that's what you do. This is all the shiur kavanot. Now we're going to do the same thing when we get to the next one, but except it's going to be in a different place. So first we have to bring down a car called Karat Satan, which is the left side, which is coming from the gura of the sphira of the day. Is the gura of the day that you're in. The gura of the day, if it's the first day, second day, depending with the gura of the chesed, gura of the gura of the tiferet, depending on what day you're in. You bring that koach down called Karat Satan, right? I'm saying that name for limud, okay? But always better not to say, but I'm just saying for limud wise, I learned from wherever you can say it, okay? Where do you send it? You send it now to the bina of the chitzoniyut. Can you see the red line going down to the bina of the chitzoniyut? And you say the formula, kabel rinat, the first to send you up. Amechasa gibeinu, and those shemot push you back down. And then you say, ta'arenu nora, and you go up. and there's a bechina of your nefesh, it goes up with it, right? And then it tells you at the bottom a summary of what happens. And you take the name Kirastam, you join it to the kuf of Kabel Runat, second one done. And the third one works in the same idea. Neged, yeah, Yach, Nagibor, the Shem Nagibor, you do the thing, bring the kach down, then use the three lots of wings to send it up. And where does it go? It goes to the Vav of Shavatenu Kabel, which is the middle kav of the premier of the Malchut of Yetzirah, which is in Gaude Asiyah. Now we've done those two. Now we have to do the next three, which are in a different place. Right? Those ones were in Chabad. These ones are in Chagat. Right? So we have to take them from Chagat of the Pnimiyut to the Chitzoniyut of the Malchut. They don't make it easy. They make it hard, right? But this is, when you fill in all the gaps, you see this is all following one after the other, right? So it works exactly the same way. Bachem Tarem, the Shem, you send it down from above, where from the Netzach of the day that you're in. Where do you send it? To the Chesed of the Pnimiyut. Yeah, then you say Bachem Tarem, and down, fly up. And what flies up? Flies up is the Chesed goes up to the Malchut. But this time we have to remember, we have to step in a second level. We have to take in from the Chagat of the Chitzoniyut that comes into the Pnimiyut as well. So the Chesed comes into the Chesed. Can you see the second red arrow? We didn't have that in the first set. In the first set, we only had one red arrow. In the second set, we have two red arrows. Why? Because that's how it works. That's how it works. Okay? I'm not going to give an answer for it. We don't here to make svarot right now. That's how it works. Right? The first one didn't step anything with it. It was like, Paul, you're looking at that part that goes up. In this section, we're looking at this part that goes up and another part that gets stepped across. If you don't do this, you'll never understand. The kavanah won't make sense. It won't work. There'll be things that won't follow one from the other. Because when we get to mekoman, we have to understand that the chagat of the chitzoniyut is already in the chagat of the pnimiyut. So if we didn't take it at this point, then how did it get there? It miraculously disappeared, right? So that's how we know. That's how the Mepharshim explained it. Okay, so we can see over here what happened. The right cover is done. Goes to the tzaddik of tza'achatenu yodei talumot. Yeah, everyone's good. Rav Adam. Then we go to the next, the left kav, Chasin Kadosh. We send a kach from the sfira of Hod. It's the Hod of the day that you're in. You send it down to the Netzach. No, sorry, to the Gevurah. To the Gevurah, right? And then you say the flying bits, right? And you fly up. And it goes to the Yud of Yodei Talumot, which is the kav small of the Malchut, which is of Yetzirah, which is in Gaude Asiyah. And you schlep it from the Chitzoniyut to the Pnimiyut, that Gura. Yeah? And then we do the last one, Yachid Ge'eh, and then it's all done. That means in Ana Bekoach, we've done the job, we've sent everything where it belongs, right? And there's no kavanah for shiur and no kabel. Right? But it does say in the Sidur of Leil Shabbat, when you do Kabbalat Shabbat, that you need the shiur and kabel as a different reason to megarish the kali. So I put it in there. I didn't see it in Shachrit Sidur, but I saw it in the Kabbalat Shabbat Sidur. So Mistama, huh? Well, you have to, all the kol Hashem Bakoch is all this kavanah of Ana Bekoach is in Mizmor David Amul Hashem. And in that part, you have to take up all the ulama have to go up. So when the Yetzirah goes up, Asiyah goes to Yetzirah, that you do this kavanah. Which is why in many communities they sing Ana Bekoach, or they say it. But it's fine because you hear me say it, right? You say, yeah, you should say it. Right? It doesn't say this in Yashash you have to say it, by the way. It doesn't say you have to say it. But the kavanah of Ana Bekoach is there. Right? So I think in my community when I grew up, we never said it. Most Fardim don't say it. Ashkenazi say it. They sing it. You know? I don't know where it came from to say it, why they say it over here. I don't know where it came from. They don't say it. But originally, most places that some places definitely said it, but I think it came from saying it because of the kavanah which is there to say it. It's not actually meant to be said. It's meant to be mechaved, right? And they just saw it in the siddur and they said, "Oh, well, let's say it." Right? Mistama, I don't know for sure. I'm saying I'm not saying this as a fact, right? In Turkey, they said it. They actually said it. You know, it's just in the siddur.
It's in the Siddurim.
It's in all the siddurim. It's anything. But if it would be said, it's a good thing because it's the kavanah needs to be done. The only problem is you've already done the kavanah when you say it because it actually happens in each havu, right? Kol in each kol Hashem is one, and then in the last one you have to do all seven. So, so at that point your neshama actually goes up. Each one is 6. Each kol is 6. It's ana bechol yotzra. Okay, so now when we get to shlamim kadashi, so when we get to mekoman bechila, right? So if we now go down to, we're not going to do the hechalot today, but we'll hopefully finish mitlat letlat. And I want to show you how it carries on. So now, when you get to mekoman on daf 101, at the top of the page, you have to mechalek this kavanah into 2 complete different kavanot which have got nothing to do with each other. The top part of the page is mitlat letlat, aliya biyat tachtonim mitlat letlat. This is a continuation of ana bekoach. But the hechalot below, which you see that beautiful picture of hechal, that is biyat atzilut. It's got nothing to do with this. It's a complete different world. Nothing to do with it bichlal. So every time you say one of the mishnayot, first you have to do a kavanah for the biyat tachtonim that's going up, and then deal with the hechalot inside the hechal what goes on, right? You understand? It's like that's a different story altogether. It's called tikkun ktsat in the lashon harashash. So how do we carry on? Now you see the lashon now becomes very easy because we don't have to do all the flying business with the wings. It just comes up easily, more easily. It is the first one. What's going on? Eze mekoman. So the netzach of the chitzoniyut, of the primiyut, I mean, this netzach, the primiyut that we're talking about, used to be, before you did the yachid ge'eh, before you did that last one, or the last 3 even, it used to be on the right side, it used to be the chitzoniyut, and then we slept it in. So now we carry on taking it up, and it goes up to the chagat. No, I didn't say that right. I didn't say that. No, it didn't go anywhere. It didn't move. This is the first time we're moving it. We haven't moved it until now. I didn't say it right. Mechila. That was all in the malchut before. Okay? These ones didn't. We're moving it up now for the first time. Right? So we move up from netzach of the primiyut, right? Where we send it up to the chagat of the chitzoniyut. Yeah? You know, everyone's not.
By the netzach of the bimbi.
Let's go back to page 89. Okay, so we'll just remind ourselves. Right? Right, so ana bekoach, we just did one set, which took them up into the left side of the yellow. All right, above. Yeah. Then when we did barachem taharem, we took it up the left side, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, and 3, and schlepped across the ones on the right from the orange ones, from the chagat. The chitzoniyot chagat went to the left side. Then and then we start Eze mekoman. The first 3 we took 7, 8, 9 up to the chagat of the chitzoniyut and schlepped across the 9 to the right side. Okay, so these ones that got schlepped across to the right side is the ones that we're going to be doing in. No, that's right. They didn't move yet. It's the first time we're doing it. The Eze mekoman is 7, 8, 9. That's what we just were talking about a minute ago in Eze mekoman, right? The first Eze mekoman, parim and chatat. They're going up for the first time now. That's 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, they go up and Shem across the orange line to the right side. And then when you say the last 3, Haolam, Zivchen, and Hatodah, the next 3 rather, then they will go up to where the vacuum hole is, right? And step across the ones from the Shlamim to the right side, and then there'll be a hole in the Malchut. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We go back to Eze mekoman. And we see exactly that. The first Mishnah is the Netzach that goes to the Chesed and slaps across the Netzach from the Chitzoniut to the Pnimiut. And that's what it says here. La lot chachan de Chabad. What's chachan de Chabad? That means the right side of the Pnimiut, which is the Netzach, deny, because it's Netzach, right? Le'al b'shchachan, which is the Chesed v'Netzach Chitzoniut, the Chagat, which is the right side of the Chagat. So the right side of the nine to the right side of the one is called gar, one is called because it's pnimiut, and one is called chacha. Okay, doesn't even say that, but it's fine. Okay, you get the message, right? Next Mishnah. Yeah. So you see the left side, parim, so it goes up to the gura and steps across the other side. You don't even have to look at the labels and the complicated. Once you decipher the code, the picture does it all for you. And there's no shemot in these kavanot. You just have to imagine it going up. It's all in the head. Very easy. And you say the words and you do it. It's very easy. You have to follow the formula of the path, the journey, if you like. Yeah. So we go to the next one, page down. This is the easy part because what's the halakha and the hechalot is much more complicated, right? So then we do yisod to tiferet, yisod of the pnimiut to the tiferet of the chitzoniut, from 27 to 31. Yeah, and that's that. Then we go to the next one, and now we do the left side of the malchut. We're starting with the malchut now. The malchut's going to have three, right? So the malchut of the right side, the pnimiut olamot, the right kav of the right side goes to the right kav of nai above of the chitzoniut. Just have to see where it goes. Look, if I didn't do these pictures, can you imagine how hard it is to do it in the siddur without looking at the pictures? Right? Can pictures check? You know what it's talking about. But it's kedai to learn it one time and see that the pictures make sense, right? When you know what the pictures mean, then that's it. It's easy, right? And all the Sfarim that describe it, they use so many words to describe this, like Rab Demlitsky Sefer, right? The Petach Enaim Chadash beautifully explains it. When you just put one picture, the whole thing is so simple to look at and understand. It's not cheating, because here you don't have to do Shemot, so you just have to know what you're doing. You're not cheating, you just learnt it. Right? Then we do the left side of the Zivchei, the left side of the Malchut goes up, and the left side of the Chitzoni goes to the Pnimiut side. Yeah? Okay? So now we've finished the Malchut of the Pnimiut of Asiya. It's all gone up to the Chitzoniut of Nai. And all of the malchut of the chitzoniut is now in the pnimiut of the malchut of Asiya. So there's a hole in the malchut of the chitzoniut. That hole which has got three kavim gets filled up in one go when you say shlamim chadashim. So we go to shlamim chadashim. I didn't do the middle one, which is hatodah. So skip over hatodah because we explained that already. And we get to shtamim katashim. We see the whole yellow box gets filled up in one go. That's called the shiur hakdusha. So let's read what it says over here on the top of the page. La'alot hakdusha shenivarev ala bakitoret. That means that last chelek, some of the kitoret was all these biurim that we were just dealing with because they came in to be a tachtonim of Asiya. There's going to be more when we get to Yetzirah, which we haven't dealt with yet, right? But then there was also the ones which are going to go up to Biyad Atzilut, which is the Kavanah we haven't learned today, which is the big, complicated Kavanah in each Hechal, right? And then there's one little bit that remained waiting to be Mashlim, Shlamim Kadashim, right? That's called the Sherit HaKedusha. Put it in brackets. The Lashon V'Ari, Sherit HaKedusha, the Biurim de Asiya Tachtona, as it says in Shari Rachamim, is explained, Rav Shrim. It says Le'albish the Malchut, meaning all the Chagat of the Nai, the whole of Malchut, the whole Chitzoniut of Malchut, Chagat Nai. Stay? Yeah? So that's what we've done over here. So now what have we now got? We've got every single part of Olam Asiya filled, and it's gone up one level. Mitlat, letlat. Everything's gone mitlat, letlat. The higher part, which used to be in the Chabad, is now in the Malchut, which is still in Olam Asiya, but above it, from where it used to be. It went up a level within the same Olam to the Malchut that's waiting over there for it, because that Malchut will take it up. And everything else went up one level. That's what we have to understand. Even if you did do this kavanah and you were just in a hurry, in Chalea, or even by Bastos even faster, right? And you're praying over there, and you say to yourself, "Ana bekoach, there's my command." What just happened? Well, if you look at Bia Tachtonim, everything went up a level, and the Sherita Kedusha which came in Ketoret was mashlim. That's what happened. That's the story. This is now going to carry on when we get to before Baruch Shamar, because everything we did until now was all in Asiyah. We also have to take up Yetzirah. We also take up Bria when we get to Brachot Shema. And the truth is, all this already happened in Reach Nichoch Yishel Hashem, but I didn't want to complicate it. It's easier to do this first and then go back to Reach Nichoch, because Yishel Nichoch Hashem is before the words Ketoret. So what's going up? There's nothing coming yet. So Yishel Reach Nichoch is working yesterday's ones. What was already came in yesterday and remained over there, Tachtonim, that goes up already, even before you got to today's ones coming in. All right, so that's a whole other story. But just quickly to finish the shiur today, it's only 9:30. Baruch Hashem, we covered a good amount of ground, and we need to go over it. If you can get a chance to go over it, see in the siddur. It sounds so complicated. When you get used to it, you understand what's going on. These are all bi'at tachtonim. Let's carry on now to before Baruch Shamar, and we can see, we can make some sense. The only problem over there is there's two shittot of how to do it, and I don't want to spend time explaining the two shittot now. It's not a great deal of difference. It just means you continue from where you left off, or you start everything is involved, right? There's two shmuot in the Mefar. Well, not shmuot. There's two mahalchim in understanding it. So as we're jumping ahead, takes me one to click 163 on page 163. Sorry, 160. Yeah, 163. This just jumped a bit. So there's a whole page over here explaining, and you get to this bit, how we carry on. And it says number 4 in the Kavanot of Baruch Shamar is Hemshech aliya mitlat letlat gimel gimel lelaim de bria. So let's do a quick cheat and look down at the picture, right? And what can we see? We can see that there's things going up. And where's the highest point they get to? The bottom of Bria of the Chitzoniut. You can see that? Yeah. Now, everything goes up. Even the Malchut of Asiyah, everything goes up. You can see the arrows of how, I'm not going to explain it in depth now, but if we take the numbers that we have over here, number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, above in the page, it explains what it is that goes up. To explain what it's referring to, you have to decipher the code of the language of what's called what went up now and what went up in the Ishereach Nichoach beforehand. And you have to know what it's referring to in the Rashash at which stage. Are you talking about what used to be in stage 1 before the Ketoret, or what used to be in stage 2, which was mekoman, or what's now? And once you decipher that, and there's machalok about how to decipher that, you end up with two malchim, two possibilities. And we explain all the different shittot over here. Because the Sadeh seems to mention both. It's machlok in what he held. But it doesn't matter too much, because the same kavanah more or less is going to happen. There is a slight difference in understanding what goes on. If you look at carefully, you'll see the Nayam on the right side is in the yellow box, but in the right side and the left side, the Malchut still not been affected. Right? So this, but you see all the yellow, all the pink, the pink all goes up into where? The Nayam, the Netzachot Yisod Malchut of the Chitzoniut of Bria. But above that, nothing else. So when we're going to do bekoach, we're going to carry on above that to take those ones up. So in this, what we're doing over here is we're saying everything goes up mitlat letlat for all these levels, all in one go. All in one go. You understand? Everything in one go. Chuck, all goes up. That's what the kavanah you have to do is. And then you go to before Yotzer Or Bora Choshech. I'm going to do it using my keys, computer keys, so you might get there before me. Here we are. Page 256. So you look at what's going up, and it's going up from the bottom of Yetzirah through the whole of Bria right into the bottom of Atzilut in the Chitzoniyut. Can you see that? And the yellow ones are marked yellow for a reason, because there's a vodat, the son of that goes on over there, right? But if you look at the explanation at the top of the page, you see number 1, and then 2, 3, and 4 is the same. It's only number 1 which is different according to the two different Shita Rishona and Shita Aleph, Shita Bet. But at the end of the day, where do we get to? We get to Malchut Atzilut, more or less, the Chitzoniyut. So when we start Shmona Esrei, that's where we are. So we quickly now go to Shmona Esrei. We start. Each bracha also has one of these of Shmona Esrei. There's a lot of complicated, to understand the different shitot, the two different shitot Shmona Esrei. But again, it's the same idea. You just have to play with, understand what the words are referring to, which system, but it follows on really nicely from before. So it's a kavanah that actually we started Isher Reach Nichoch LaHashem. We then did an mekoman, and bekoach mekoman. Then Baruch Shamar. Then Yotze Or. These are the stations as they follow on. So you're going to get so caught up with the other kavanah, you're going to forget where you were before and how it carries on later on in the middle of the tefillah. You've jumped to another place and it carries on from where you left off. But that's how it is. That's how it works. So after Hashem Sevatai Tiftach, page 369. Now this kavanah 369, huh? Oh, you're right, it's 401 because I've got Kaddish missed out from this edition over here. The actual page is 401, but in the number of pages in the PDF, it's like that. 401. Okay, so it's very interesting. You've got a general explanation of the whole of Shemona Esrei on one page. Now understand this. If you're going to do it like it says over here during the week, you don't do it over here. You do it in each bracha. This is only a Hakdama to tell you what's going to happen. But if it's Shabbat, you haven't got all these brachot Shabbat. You've only got one bracha Mekadesh Shabbat. So you have to do it all over here before you start Shemona Esrei. Well, just Hashem Svatay Tiftach. Before you say Baruch Atah Hashem, you have to mechaven that all the letlat goes up as if there was 13 brachot. I've put in the names of the brachot in brackets. They're not really there in the original Siddur. I've put them in the top bracket of each line. Bebekas lachanu re'ah, whatever the bracha is, right? But in the Horah, it doesn't have it. So the same kavanah applies during the weekend on Shabbat. But during the week, you don't do it here. On Shabbat, you do it over here. Right? So if you look at the chart now, you'll see how it goes up. Right? From in Atzilut, you have to go through all of Atzilut until you get to Malchut Akudim. There's an Olam above Atzilut that's called Olam Akudim. The Malchut Akudim is the highest place that you have to go to. And each bracha of Shemona Esrei is one of these aliyot. Right, so this we'll do one and we'll stop over there just so you'll get and understand what I'm saying. They only start from Atakadosh, right? You don't. If you go back to the page before, it says Bibirkat Atachonen Hashivenu Veslach. Even Atakadosh sorry is not there. From Atachonen. So we go to Atachonen Adam Dad, and you'll see before the bracha begins, there's a whole kavanah just for this, and I've dedicated literally a whole page for it because if you don't, you'll just skip by it and not pay attention to the words of what's going on over there. It needs a page to decipher the code of the language. You got the page number? 573. So 573. In this book, you'll have a different. That's the printed number at the bottom of the page. 573. I'm up to Konei Akol. Laman Shemo. I'm getting there. Okay, so here we are. I've got another 20 pages. Again, Abraham, Hakel. Here we are. I can see already. So 573. Before you start Tachonin and that, you can see what goes on over there. The chokhmah of Atzilut, of the Pnimiyut, and we know that chokhmah is called Partzuf Atik. right? So here, suddenly, we start talking about names of parts of film. This is where the Rashash works, right? It's really chokhmah, but he calls it atik. Because we're in Olam Atzilut. You don't need to call it atik when you're the other Olamot, only when you get to Atzilut. So the atik is the chokhmah. So he says, if you look at Nora, it says, shiur klalut parts of atik duchura. He's telling you that because the nukda atik is going to be the bina, the next bracha. Right? But when you do it, you just take it up to the Pirmiyut chokhmah, or the chitzoniyut chokhmah of Olam HaKudim. He says at the bottom, look at the last line, the chitzoniyut chacham denayam da'akudim. Olam HaKudim. So now we're finishing up the whole story. We're going all the way to the top. But you know what's really interesting is that in this system, we start from the top, not from the bottom of the plate, the ones we have to do. We have to do this whole section that hasn't yet gone up. But normally we start from the bottom and we bump them up, right? This time we're starting from the top. Also, on the bekoach, we started from the top. Sometimes we start from the bottom, sometimes from the top. It's all. But that's in other words, the kavanah really should follow. As soon as you do one, everything should follow through like that, dominoes, right? But it doesn't. The kavanah that we have to do is paused for us to be able to do the kavanah of that one and that one and that one and that one. So we otherwise won't have an avodah. And the Rashash knew exactly how to work it out. It's in the Arizal already for each bracha or bracha. Yeah. So you just quickly look at the next bracha because it's not so far away. Yeah, on page 576, you'll see the left side, which is called nukda atik or the bina, which goes to the bina or the chitzoniyot of the bina, which is actually the hod of akudim. It's got names of now and names of what it used to be once upon a time because it's moved a few times already, right? So sometimes we give it the name of what it used to be. But I'll just tell you basically how it works. But what do we learn today, Rabotai? We learn that there are birurim that come inside the olamot in the word kitoret. And then sometimes we'll do what came in today. And before we say the word kitoret, already the tefillah, Ishay Reach Nichoch Hashem, which we didn't look at, but you'll see this whole chart exactly goes on over there as well. The ones of yesterday go up, right? So that means they're still hanging around from day to day because these ones don't go up and stay in number one. They go up a little bit. So when you come back tomorrow, you'll see what used to be there yesterday and it's gone up another level and another, and you have to follow how they go up, right? You don't have to drive yourself crazy and know exactly what happened yesterday. But when you're in the tefillah, you have to know what went from where and where it's going to. And that's what we have to, that's our avodah, as it says in the Horah. Okay, this is called mitlat letlat. So in on the bekoach, we did the pnimiyut of Chabad, and we took it up to the malchut of Yetzirah, which is in the makom of the gar of the chitzoniyut of Asiya. And we then took up the chagat of the chitzoniyut to the Chabad. No, sorry, to the malchut in the pnimiyut of the malchut of Yetzirah, which was in Asiya. Then as a mekoman, we took up the chagat 9. Shlamim Kadashim, we brought in the extra bits. Right? And then when we get to Baruch Shama, we have to take up the ones above those sections. They have to go up now because there's going to be a block. They're going to come up and after Kaddish, and they can't go up because the ones before that are there. So you have to take them up before Baruch Shama, and then before Yotzer Or, and then Ishmona Esrei until we finish the whole story. Everything's gone up, and then we finish that day's work, the mitlat letlat. Baruch Adonai leolam. Amen. Amen.